well this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Let's see, Ms. Bridgewater, when is the SAP reset date?
Yes, it's going to be April the 30th.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Chin?
Did you call me?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Officer Milton. Where are we starting today?
We can start with position 6, Ms. Chin.
Okay. And let's see, who's representing Ms. Chin?
Attorney Cook.
All right, so we'll need to get courtroom 2 unmuted.
Put this right here. Right here. I go on my bed. Take your shoes off.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Chen. I'm Judge Eric Mara. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001900Y with battery, family violence, criminal trespass, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Good afternoon. Is there a history?
Who is this?
Position number 6.
Yeah.
Second arrest, 2014, possession of drug-related objects.
Afternoon, Mr. Walker.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 408 Grayfield Lane, where they met with the victim, who was the sister of the defendant. They were having an argument when the defendant punched the victim in her face, causing a visible bruise. She also broke a plate, and this occurred in front of the victim's juvenile daughter or child by the initials of TJ. We are asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, and no contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond, and we are asking for an F-fit force.
The name of the alleged victim?
If I can have one, I can't put my handwriting out, so let me pull it up Odyssey just 1 second, please. If the defense wants to go, they can go, and I can just put it in the chat.
Okay. Normally you would like for me to sound for the victim, so.
Okay.
Mr. Cook?
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, we have no objection to a signature bond. We would prefer it be through the jail. There's no issue, no objection to no further contact and stay away.
Your Honor, the victim's name is Shavoya Chen, Shaboya.
If Ms. Savoya Chen is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Okay. And can we get everyone muted who's not in court speaking, please? Thank you. Let's see. We need to mute this Briandra Williams. And anyone else who is not muted, please.
I'm looking for it, Judge. I'm sorry. It's a lot of people on here, but
I understand. Good afternoon, Ms. Strong.
good afternoon.
She's in the
Does anyone else have the opportunity to?
Okay. For the battery, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial, criminal trespass, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial, cruelty, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial, all level 1. 1 day anger awareness, no further contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Chen.
What would that total be?
$2,000 for the battery, $1,000 for each of the others, so it's a total of $4,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Since courtroom 2 don't seem to be quite ready, we can go to position 31. If Ms. Rose is available, or Let's go to Ms. Kim. And that it will be Ms.
I see
Kim,
Miss Woodbury on, is that her 31 is her client?
13 through 15, Ms. Hightower, and 31, position 31.
So who do I have coming forward?
Ms. Hightower, position 13 through 15.
Okay,
Oh, she's not my client, Judge.
She's not?
She's mine.
Sorry.
oh, no, you're fine, Mr. Ty is here.
Have a seat.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Hightower. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. Ms. Hightower, you've been charged in case 24 CR 0018881E with giving false information to law enforcement, driving without a valid license, no insurance, and escape. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0018884E with theft by shoplifting. You've also been charged in case 24 CR 0018885E with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
I got like 82. 2023 shoplifting, that's open in Superior Court. It's 23 SC 188544. Another open shoplifting, 23 SC 190472. She got 3 shoplifting convictions in her history. Not sure why this is 0, but that's all.
Afternoon, Mr. Graham.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Would you like to take them in order of the calendar, 13, 14?
That's fine with me.
Okay. So on position 13, the false info, driving without a valid license, no insurance, escape. This incident took place on March 11, 2024. While conducting random tag checks, Ms. Hightower was observed by law enforcement driving a Dodge Challenger that did not have valid insurance. During the course of the traffic stop, Ms. Hightower was not able to produce her driver's license. She gave the officer the name of Quinise, Quinise Hightower, and the date of birth of January 24th, 1988, when asked for her information. That is her daughter's name and her daughter's date of birth. Ms. Hightower has several warrants and several open warrants and aliases within the ACIC. She was identified by her full body tattoos. After being detained and placed in the patrol car, Ms. Hightower complained of chest pain. She told the officer that she had swallowed several Xanax and Percocet pills. Because she was afraid the officer would find them. She was then transported to Grady Hospital. She later escaped from the Grady detention location. Later that afternoon, Ms. Quinise Hightower contacted the officer to inform him that he had in fact arrested her mother, and she had used her name when stopped, and she had done so several times in the past. The officer didn't make contact with Ms. Amy Hightower via phone that afternoon. She admitted to using her daughter's info, and she advised that she would not be turning herself in. Your Honor, do you want to have the recommendation at the end of the 3 cases or as we go? I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't hear you.
As we go, please.
Okay. So on this case, Your Honor, the state is requesting a $5,000 surety bond, $1,500 on the false info, $1,500 on the escape, $1,000 on the driving without a valid license, and $1,000 with no insurance. We're requesting an ADET, Your Honor, no driving, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. And for the position 14, case ending in 84E, this incident took place on October 17th. Amy Hightower was observed walking out of the Burlington at 7731 North Point Parkway. She had several pieces of children's clothing that she had put inside of a laundry hamper. She took all these items walking past all points of sale. She's a repeat offender at this location. She was recognized by the store manager who had seen her during a previous theft that took place on September 17th. That incident was not reported to the police. The responding officer was able to view the surveillance footage of the incident. On that count, Your Honor, the state is requesting a $1,000 surety bond. Stay away from the Burlington at 7731 North Point Parkway. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And the final Position 15, Your Honor, took place on December 6, 2023. Ms. Hightower was again observed taking items from the same Burlington. She placed the items inside of a laundry hamper, passing all points of sale, walking out of the store. This time it was a comforter set, a jacket, and a hamper. Your Honor, we've heard the history. She does have 2 open felony theft by shoplifting cases, one in DeKalb, one in Cobb. Several other convictions. We weren't able to transfer over in time because there are so many across the metro area. State's requesting, again, Your Honor, $1,000 surety bond. Stay away from the Burlington, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Tai.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My client is 53 years old. She is the mother of 1 minor child. She's lived in Georgia all her life, and she is gainfully employed at Walmart for over the last year. Your Honor, if you look at the booking sheet, this is a Riverside issue. She was arrested April 12th at 1 p.m. There's no Saturday court now, so she's past the 72 hours. So I'm asking for a signature bond through the jail.
Mr. Graham?
Your Honor, if you give me 1 second, I'll check the booking, but I didn't have that noted as a Riverside. If I can just check. Your Honor, obviously has her booked in on April 13th at 5:33 a.m. So I don't think that runs a Riverside issue.
Well, her arrest date is April 12th, and Atlanta, she was booked into ACDC, but on these warrants only. There was no other charge. I mean, her being transferred, officially, technically booked in to Fulton County at 5 a.m. It's because she wasn't at ACDC for anything other than these warrants.
And Your Honor, if I could respond, please.
Yes, Mr. Walker.
I have a case, Stanley v. State. It's a Georgia appellate case, 289 Georgia appellate 47. And that states that defendants, they are entitled to a first appearance. However, the Riverside issue is when they're not giving notice. So it's not that you don't have a first appearance within 72 hours, it's whether you were given notice that you would have a first appearance. And even if you don't have a first appearance within the first 72 hours, a signature bond is not immediate. You're not required to give a signature bond under that case. A surety bond can be issued. So I just ask that the court review that.
No, the 72-hour rule, I mean, it's a constitutional protection. It's by statute. It's not really to get some kind of notice. I mean, they could be here indefinitely without appearing before a judge if it's based on what Mr. Walker's saying, some kind of getting notice. No, I mean, it's a 72-hour rule for a reason.
We just disagree, and the court could just.
Yes.
It's a constitutional issue, Your Honor.
Well, I believe that she does have the right to have a hearing within those first 72 hours. And if she didn't, I do believe that it's a Riverside issue. As such, for the giving false information, we have $3,000 signature bond. For the driving without a valid license, $1,000 signature bond. For the no insurance, $1,000 signature bond. For the escape, a $5,000 signature bond. For each of the theft by shopliftings, $1,000 signature bond. It will be a $12,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond, and stay away from the Burlington at North Point Parkway. All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Hightower.
Yeah, this would be per judge due to the extensive history.
Understand, Mr. Howard. I need to have her monitored though.
I apologize. Judge, can you go down the breakdown for position number 13 one more time, please?
Yes, $3,000 for the false information, $1,000 for the driving, $1,000 for the no insurance, $5,000 for the escape. Okay? Who do we have next? You're welcome.
Next, we could go to the add-on calendar, position number 2.
And that's in courtroom 2?
Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Salanthe. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
I do.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001910A with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
What number is this?
Add on 2.
Let's see. The 2017 suspended license arrest. That's it.
Your Honor, in this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 115 Boxford Place, I believe, where they met with the victim, Brian Saleh. He is the husband of the defendant. He reported to officers that his wife was inebriated. They were having a disagreement that became physical, at which time she struck him in the neck and chest area. The officer did observe red marks on his neck and chest area. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. The requirement of of course, no contact with the victim and a stay away from the instant location. I'm not sure if Mr. Brian Select is on the line, but we would sound for him.
If Mr. Select is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Has your office spoken to him, Mr. Walker?
I'll have to check on that, Your Honor. 1 second.
Yes, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 36 years old. She has been a Georgia resident for the last 15 years. She is the mother of 1 minor child. She's a police officer with the Roswell Police Department, and she's done that for the last 2.5 years. She does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. The incident allegedly occurred on April 7th. And she tells me that that later that evening, he was arrested for burning her police equipment, her uniform, body armor, holsters, etc. And I haven't had time to look at that case. If you give me a moment, I can verify what she's told me, though, that he actually has a no further contact order with her already and a stay away as part of his bond conditions. So I would object to the stay away. And of course, she's fine with no further contact, Your Honor. And I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. The warrant states that the warrant states, I love my wife, nothing happened. So she does deny the allegations in the warrant. That is there as the complaining witness's statement in the warrant. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. I would object to the FVIP. She has no problem with no further contact. Like I said, he already has to stay away from that address. She has her daughter and her mother at that address now and hopes to be able to return.
Hey, Your Honor, I did check. We haven't made contact with the victim, and I would still request that stay away unless some type of information can be provided to the court other than just word of mouth.
Yeah, I just need.
I think that would be necessary.
I
know, I'm just saying it hasn't happened as of now, so I would still request that stay away without the proper documentation to support what counsel has asserted to the court.
Okay, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Brian Soleil. She can have a one-time escort to the Foxbury Place address. If Mr. Soleil is there, she necessarily cannot be there. If he is not there, she can reside there. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. I think that addresses everyone's concern.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck, ma'am.
Next, we have position 30, Ms. Ashley Smith.
Good afternoon, Ms. Smith. Judge Eric Morrow, this is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001895A with battery, family violence, and criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history, Mr. Howard? You're on mute if you're talking, Mr. Howard.
Third arrest, open case out of Swanee for shoplifting. 2014 shoplifting dismissed.
Yeah, Shire, in this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 1065 Stonegate Court in Roswell, where they met with the victim, Kevin Schroeder. He advised that him and the defendant were having a verbal disagreement over money, at which point she attacked him. He sustained visible scratches and a laceration to his neck and hand. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, a FPIP course, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. And apparently she slashed the victim's tire, and that is the basis for the criminal trespass. And of course, we would sign for the victim, Mr. Kevin Schroeder.
Mr. Schroeder, I see you on the line. If you wish to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. You, of course, do not have to address the court, but if you would like to address the court, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in.
Yes, sir. This is Kevin.
Okay, can you activate your camera?
Um, uh,
Okay, there you go.
Sure.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can place your hand down. Thank you. What would you like to tell the court, Mr. Schroeder?
I as much of these charges besides the criminal trespassing that can be dropped, I don't want to file the charges for the family violence or what happened to me. I don't have the power to just dismiss all of these charges or say that, but I this was a very big misunderstanding between Ashley and I, and you know, I would like for her to still be, there's no contact with me currently at the time. I'm going to stay away. I have a place to stay until my stuff settles. She currently needs to be able to reside where we are living on 754 Charles Allen. And that is my special, request there. If we can beg for that.
Okay. Well, the state has the ability to dismiss the charges, Mr. Schroeder. This is just a bond hearing today. And you said something about there's already in place a stay away.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the 754 Charles Allen, do both of you live there?
Yes, sir.
And when do you plan on moving out?
I've moved out.
Okay, so you're no longer there.
Correct.
Okay. Anything further, sir?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you for being here this afternoon.
Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Kim, is this your client?
Yes, Your Honor, we have no objection to his signature bond through pretrial, and we prefer to have a no for the violent contact. And yet, as long as she can move back to her place, we will be okay with no further contact as well.
Okay. Well, it's my understanding that there's already a stay away for some reason, but that being said, for the batter, it's a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the criminal trespass, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Mr. Schroeder. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Smith, and you also, Mr. Schroeder.
Next, we have position 31, Crystal Smith.
Good afternoon, Ms. Schmidt. Ms. Smith, I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. You agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. Ms. Smith, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001891D with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
11 total, 2023 probation, 2016 and 15 probation, 2013 simple battery conviction.
Graham?
Your Honor, this incident took place on April 13, 2024. Law enforcement dispatched to 1371 Kimberly Way Southwest in Atlanta in reference to a domestic violence call. They made contact with Arnold Hisequan, HICE, Quon. He explained that Crystal Smith, the mother of his 3 children, arrived at the location and started a fight over one of their children being unruly. She then ran up to his door, hitting him in front of the children. The doorbell footage showed her running up at him at the front door and throwing punches at him in front of the children. Our office has been in touch with Mr. Arnold. He says that the two are not in a relationship. They do not live together. They do share 3 children. The incident location is his residence. He has full custody over the 3 children, and he has been legitimized. He states that one of his sons was upset about an argument they had and wanted to go to his mother's house. She was coming to get him, and once she arrived, she had her boyfriend with her. They were arguing about child support. She began to hit him. The boyfriend threatened to shoot him. He states that he wants no contact, wants her to stay away from the residence, that he does not want her to have contact with the children, does not wish to attend Zoom. The state is requesting a $1,500 surety bond, Your Honor. No further contact with Arnold Hysequan. Stay away from 1371 Kimberly Way, Southwest. FVIP, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Afternoon, Ms. Woodbury.
Good afternoon, Judge.
You-
Judge, Miss Smith is 35 years old. She has been working at Taco Bell on Ponce de Leon. She is born and raised in Atlanta, so she has strong ties to this area. Judge, she has a total of 5 kids, 3 with Mr. Arnold. She tells me that he does have custody according to what she tells me. She tells me she actually called the police when their child was kicked out of the house to make sure that the transfer was above board. She says that Mr. Arnold then took her 5-year-old. So I think whatever was captured on the Ring camera was only a portion of the incident. It sounds like the incident started at the rental office, and then Mr. Arnold took the 5-year-old back to his house. The 5-year-old is not his child. Judge, she has very little money right now, so we would be asking for a signature bond. We would ask the court not to interfere with any of the arrangements regarding the kids.
Okay. $2,000 signature bond, pre-trial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the Kimberly Way address. Abide by any previously established custody arrangements. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Can you repeat the amount, Your Honor?
$3,000 signature bond through pre-trial.
Hey, can we go to position number?
Your Honor, before we go there, can we have a breakout session with Ms. Chauncey and Attorney McLeod, please?
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. Chancey. We'll put you into a breakout room with Ms. McLeod. Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod. So if we can place ACDC, Ms. Chancey, and Ms. McLeod into a breakout room, please. Okay, since we have everyone in courtroom 2 or a number of people in courtroom 2, good afternoon, gentlemen.
There's going to be maybe 2 or 3 waves of people.
Okay, so
yeah, this is the
good
first
afternoon.
location.
All right, thank you, Officer Norris. So let me know when the second wave goes in. Since we have so many people, let me just make the general announcement. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we are conducting by video. If you have an objection to having your case heard by video, make that known to me when you come before me. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have an attorney, we're providing you with the assistance of a public defender today. Who do I have in front of me now?
Position number 36.
36. Okay, thank you. Mr. Williams, you have been charged in case 24 CR 001893F with driving under the influence of alcohol, reckless driving, and failure to obey traffic signs, signals, or markings. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
No.
Mr. Walker?
1 second. Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement observed the defendant driving on Peachtree Street and Peachtree Valley Road. When they made contact with the defendant, they could observe the alcohol beverage or the odor of alcohol coming from his person. He was slurring his speech. He appeared to be sleepy, and he had glossed over bloodshot eyes. They asked him if he had anything to drink. He confirmed that he did. He failed his field sobriety testing, and then he blew a .263. To the one count DUI, we're asking for a $2,500 surety. To the reckless driving, we're asking for a SOB jail. For the failure to obey traffic signals, we're asking for a $500 surety. No weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Williams, he is 31 years old and he's gainfully employed as a pharmacist at a Publix. He does have a master's degree, and this is his first ever getting arrested in his entire life. We would like to request for a signature on bond. That's it, Your Honor.
For the DUI, it's a $1,500 good bond. For the reckless driving, a $250 good bond. For the failure to obey traffic signs, a $250 good bond. Makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you.
Next, we go to position number.
What number is this?
I didn't say a number yet.
It's Mr. Damon Jones, Your Honor, Mr. Damon Jones.
Okay. Mr. Jones is position number 18. Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001904A with battery family violence. Your history, Mr. Howard?
10, you got 10 total. Got an open battery DV, what I have out of state court. 2016 assault, malicious destruction of building. 2015 assault on officer. 2013 assault battery conviction. State, you got that?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Oh, last arrest was an FTA from this year.
Hey,
Yes,
Mr.
Your
Walker.
Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 705 in the Williams Road, where they met with the victim, Maurice Brown. He advised that him and the defendant are in a relationship and they reside together. They were having verbal disagreement when the defendant struck the victim in his face, causing a visible injury. The state is asking for a $3,000 surety bond and no contact with the victim. Stay away from the incident location. No weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out bond.
You have any information for me on the open
Yeah,
battery?
and the victim in that case is a different party.
You don't happen to have his bond, do you,
Okay, let
Mr.
me pull
Walker?
up the bond. I was looking at the victim, but I can't get the bond. Like he FTA'd in front of Judge Roth, but let me see what the amount is. I'm not showing an amount, but I do see that he FTA'd on December 4th of last year. It was a plea arraignment in front of Judge Roth.
Thank you. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 28 years old. He is a Georgia resident. He is gainfully employed as a hairstylist and also drives for Lyft. As you can see, he's severely injured. He has injuries to his head and arms. Again, Your Honor, this is another Riverside issue. You can see that he was booked in on April 12th at 11:54 a.m. I would ask for, so he's been in here with his injuries since then. So I would ask for a signature bond through the jail so that he can get the medical treatment that he needs, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, he will need a one-time law enforcement escort back to the residence to get his belongings.
Yes. Fine. They don't live together, so I won't object to that.
Oh,
I mean, to the stay away, not to the one-time law enforcement. He needed that.
Well, if he has that FTA, I take it that he's not gonna be being released today, regardless. All right, so
I
it will
didn't
be,
see a hold or anything, but I don't know.
okay. Well, according to Mr. Walker, he has a failure to appear in front of Judge Roth. Is that holding him, Mr. Walker?
I could check the Jelen screen, but it does say warrant issued. But let me
Okay,
go to the
well,
Jelen.
okay, I guess they can deal with that. It's gonna be a $10,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Maurice Brown. Stay away from the Williams Road address. If he does need to go back there, he can go back there on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Come on, John. That's from Jack.
He needs help. But-
Come on, John.
Yeah,
Next, we will go to position number 24, Oliver Christopher.
good afternoon, Mr. Oliver. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0018887J with battery family violence. Your history, Mr. Howard?
6 total, 2022 assault battery, 3rd degree out of South Carolina. 2018 assault battery conviction, and 2016 breach of peace.
Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place on April 13, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a fight call at 5401 Old National Highway, apartment 2312 in Atlanta. Upon arrival, Christopher Oliver advised that he was assaulted by his boyfriend, Shane Proctor. He stated Mr. Proctor punched him in the face when he refused to leave the residence. The officer did observe a small laceration above his right eye. When speaking with Mr. Proctor, he advised that Mr. Oliver initiated the altercation by punching him with a closed fist and threatened him with a knife, saying that he would kill him. That is when Mr. Proctor ran outside, where he was found by officers with no shoes, sitting on the front step of 5401 Biscayne Drive, apartment 404. He had a laceration to his head. The primary, Your Honor, I failed to mention that this was a dual arrest with position number 27, Shane Proctor. The officer was not able to determine the primary aggressor, so they were both arrested. In this case, Your Honor, the state is requesting a $1,000 surety bond, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Shane Proctor. Will let the court determine who stays away from the residence, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Mr. Graham, I believe I heard a Biscayne Drive address and an Old National Highway address. Where's the stay away from?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The stay away would be from 5401 Old National Highway, apartment 2312.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 31 years old. He is a Georgia resident. As you heard, this is a dual arrest. My client does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant, and I do see that he has more than just a small laceration to the head. I mean, his eye is injured, his neck has fresh scratches on it, deep scratches. So he does deny the allegations and states that the complaining witness was the first aggressor. I believe, let me see here. He does live at that address, so I would object to the stay away. And sorry, yes, he's been living there for over a year, Your Honor. I am asking for a signature bond. He is employed, but doesn't have any money for bond, Your Honor. And I don't believe that his history really he's at a flight risk. He understands his obligation to return to court. And I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services. And I would object to the stay away. And nothing, he did call the police as well, Your Honor, nothing further.
Signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Shane Proctor. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
How much is that?
3,000. Good luck to you, Mr. Oliver. You have next?
We can go to Laquita Smith. That is position number.
And actually, Judge, I'm gonna be requesting a breakout room with the court and ASG Walker for her. She's position 32, I believe.
Would you like me to courtroom 2? Would you all like me to wait till the end of the
Yes,
calendar?
Your Honor. Yes, please.
All right. So we'll take you in a little while, Ms. Smith. Who do we have next?
Position number 1, Marion Askew.
Yes, good afternoon. You have been charged, Marion Askew, in case 24 CR 001896G with battery family violence. Is there a history?
Second arrest. Open case out of Clayton County for terrorist threats.
So Walker?
Case law enforcement was dispatched to 607 Spencer Street, and they met with the victim, Ty Janae SQ. I believe that is the sister of the defendant. They were having an argument over money, at which point the defendant became violent and punched her in the face. We are asking for a signature bond through pretrial services and no contact with the victim. Stay away from the incident location. If, of course, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. We have had contact with Mrs. Skew. She is requesting a no contact, and she said that she is concerned for her safety. I'm not sure if she's on the line, but we will sound for Ty Janae Skew.
Ms. Ty Janae Askew is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Is this your case, Mr. Cook?
Yes, Your Honor. We
You
have
can
no
proceed.
we have no objection to the signature bond and the stay away, no further contact, Your Honor.
Right, $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from the Spencer Street address. No further contact with Ms. Askew. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck.
This would be per judge, and he's 18, so he would need a cosigner. According to what they have.
So you have someone that can co-sign for him, Mr. Cook?
Yes, I believe it's this your. Yes, Your Honor, he does. His mother will co-sign.
Okay, I'll need that name for the paperwork, please.
Okay. Aisha, it's A-E, Aisha,
I-E-S-H-A.
I-E,
S-H-A.
S-H-A, Askew, A-S-K-E-W.
Okay. All right, good luck. Good luck to you, sir.
Text, please.
Go to position number 2.
I'm sorry, Judge, but can they put the spelling in the text so that makes sure the bond paperwork is spelled out correctly?
Can you do
Yeah,
that,
about the
Mr.
cosigner?
Yeah, the co-signers, correct spelling of the name.
Your Honor, after courtroom 2, we would like to do position 26, Ms. Perez, the Spanish interpreter, and Ms. McLeod is ready.
We would like to hold the Spanish interpreter to the end because we also have not to the end, but a little later, because we also have one that needs to be interpreted at the same time.
All right, Your Honor, I will have to leave and come back.
Okay, do you,
And
how many,
that, I'm
how
sorry.
many more, how many more people do you have at ACDC, Officer Milton?
She is my last one, Your Honor.
Okay, so what, can't we just go ahead and do this so that we can let Miss Officer Milton go this afternoon?
Thank you.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to, unless there's I'd like to go ahead and do ACDC so we can release Officer Milton for the day, since this is her last one that we're gonna need from her. Okay, what position is this?
Position number 2.
The Spanish interpreter person. Who is that needs the Spanish
Position 20,
interpreter?
position 26, Senora Perez.
You can raise your right hand for me, Ms. Chansey.
Yes, sir.
Do you swear affirm that you will interpret from Spanish to English, English to Spanish to the best of your ability?
I do, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Perez. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You agree to have your case heard by video?
Buenas tardes, señora Pérez. Soy el juez Eric Morrow y esta es la audiencia de listas de causas estatales de trámite rápido. Estamos conduciendo esta teleaudiencia a distancia. ¿Está de acuerdo con que tratemos su caso de este modo? ¿Está
Ask
de
her.
acuerdo? Oh, yes.
Yes, Ms. Perez, you've been charged with battery family violence.
Señora Pérez, usted tiene un cargo por golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar.
Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
¿Hay antecedentes, señor Howard?
Second arrest, it was a border patrol issue. That's
No.
it.
Es el segundo arresto y era por la patrulla de fronteriza anterior.
Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place April 13th, 2024. Law enforcement was dispatched to 2265 Perry Boulevard in Atlanta.
Este fue un caso que ocurrió el 13 de abril del 2000. You say 2022?
I'm sorry, 2024.
Del 2024, la policía fue enviada al 2265 Perry Boulevard, Northwest.
Upon arrival, officers spoke with Cesar Orozco Uriarte, Uriate.
Al llegar, la policía habló con César Orozco Iriarte.
And Your Honor, this was also dual arrest with position 25.
Este caso está ligado con la posición 25.
He explained that he was in the kitchen when Adela Perez Aguilar came into the kitchen and began an argument.
Él declaró que él estaba en la cocina cuando Adela Pérez Aguilar vino a la cocina y comenzó una discusión.
She picked up a drinking glass and threw it at him and also attacked him with her hands.
Ella tomó un vaso, se lo tiró a él y también lo atacó.
Mr. Cesar sustained lacerations to his right arm and abdomen from the incident.
El señor César recibió una lesión en el brazo derecho y el abdomen como resultado de esta discusión.
The state is requesting a signature bond through pretrial services, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Cesar Orozco. Stay away from the 2265 Perry Boulevard address, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
La fiscalía propone una fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio, tomar clase de control de la ira, también no tener más contacto con César Orozco, mantenerse distanciada del domicilio de la residencia en Perry Boulevard y queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, we'll ask the court to determine who stays away because I believe they do live together.
Y quiero solicitar que su señoría decida quién va a estar alejado porque ellos viven juntos.
Ms. McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 33 years old.
Mi cliente es 33 años. I'm sorry.
She denies that she was violent with the cross defendant, Your Honor.
Ella niega haber tenido una actitud violenta ante el coacusado.
My client would like to be able to stay at the house, Your Honor. She prefers no further violent contact with the other party. However, if the court determines that they cannot have any contact, then she would like to be the one who stays at the home. She tells me that she doesn't have anywhere else to live, Your Honor.
Su señoría, mi cliente quisiera permanecer y que se establezca no tener más contacto violento entre ellos. Ella, si el juez no, si usted, su señoría, no puede hacerlo, quisiera ella permanecer en la residencia ya que no tiene otro lugar a donde ir.
We are okay with the signature bond through pretrial, Your Honor. That is fine.
Estamos de acuerdo con una fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio.
Okay. It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 1 day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Mr. Cesar Orozco, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Muy bien, la sentencia es de $3,000 de fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio, el nivel 1, una clase para control de la ira, no tener más contacto violento con el coacusado y se prohíbe el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté bajo fianza.
Okay, and I want her to understand that it's a signature bond. I'm not sure she's upset.
Le quiero que quede bien claro que es una firma que es una fianza que requiere solo una firma. No sé por qué está tan deprimida.
Esta no es la verdad de lo que pasó.
Actually, I am because of what happened.
Quiero mi versión,
Okay,
nadie me ha escuchado.
My side has not been listened.
This is not the trial.
Este no es un juicio.
Solo quiero que quede claro que yo llamé a la policía porque él me estaba ahorcando. Y yo por
I just
eso le
want to
hice
be
los
clear
rasguños.
that I called the police because he was choking me.
Okay. With that said, it's a no further contact with Mr. Orozco, and I will not and she can go back to her residence.
Entonces, después de haberme dicho esto, cambio el contacto que tengan. No pueden tener ningún contacto alguno y usted puede volver a su casa.
Good luck to you, ma'am.
Mucha suerte, señora.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, have a good afternoon, Officer Milton. We can go back to courtroom. Do you have other cases?
Yeah, we have two more interpreter cases. They're about to log on in courtroom 1.
Okay.
And Ms. McLeod, I know you have Mr. Proctor.
Mr. Proctor, yes.
Yeah, give me a few minutes to get him, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, and so where are we gonna go in the meantime?
We can go to position number 2.
Good afternoon, Mr. Beckford. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001908E with simple battery family violence. Is there a history?
Beckford 9 total. 2016 ag assault. 2016 ag battery dismissed. 2015 ag assault dismissed. And he's wanted out of East Point. That's it.
Yes, sir. In this case, law enforcement with dispatch to 3480 Welcome All Road, where they met with the victim, Briandra Williams. They were having a verbal disagreement. This defendant is her boyfriend, and he turned physical when he punched her in the face. We are asking for a $1,500 surety bond, no contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And we would sign for the victim, Ms. Briandra Williams.
Ms. Briandra Williams is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Has your office spoken with her, Mr. Walker?
1 second, Your Honor, I'll check.
I'm disabled from starting my video.
Okay, and this is Miss Williams?
Yes.
All right, there you go. If you'd like to address the court, I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
Okay, I would like to say that first off, he's not my boyfriend. He's actually my fiance. We are in the process of getting married, for one. And for two, I would like to say that if it's possible for him to be able to return back home, if he would like to, that he can and have contact with his kids, because he is the sole provider of our household. We're not originally from here. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and if he's not able to come home and be around.
It appears that she has dropped off. Yes, Mr. Cook.
I'm sorry, it seems to me she said enough before she dropped off, Your Honor. We would be asking for signature bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate, and considering the circumstances and the feelings and wishes of the alleged victim, we would ask that there be no further violent contact provision, but not a stay away provision.
Okay, does not appear that she has come back with this. It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Williams, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Beckford.
Thank you very much.
We can go to position number 3, Lawrence Burney.
And are we ready to place some people into the breakout room in courtroom 1?
Yes, we can go ahead and place them in the breakout room, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see us. So we can go ahead. I don't know. I'm not sure who needs to go into the breakout room.
Miss Woodbury, courtroom 1, and the Spanish interpreter.
Okay, so if we can do that first. And this is Mr. Burney before me.
Yes.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Burney. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001873D with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Yeah. What was the last bond amount for Beckford?
3,000 signature through pretrial level 1 day anger awareness.
All right. Bernie, 4 total.
4?
It's last like 2009 is what I have out of Philly. It was for possessing instrument of crime, simple assault, reckless endangering, robbery. That's what I have.
Thank you, Mr. Graham.
And Your Honor, I'll just say they placed me in the breakout instead of Miss Chansey, so she's still waiting to be placed in the breakout.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Graham. So we can go ahead and put Miss Chansey into
Sorry.
the breakout. You're fine. That's all right, Mr. Strong. Go ahead, Mr. Graham.
This incident took place, Your Honor, on April 14, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a dispute call at 1434 Polar Drive in Atlanta. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with Shatina Wilson. She advised that an argument with the father of her 1-month-old baby, Lawrence Burney, became physical when he grabbed her by the head. So Miss Wilson's 2 older children, ages 17 and 19, heard the commotion. They intervened to separate the 2 of them, placing Mr. Burney in a chokehold. Miss Wilson stated that she was holding the 1-month-old baby at the time of the incident. Our office has spoken with Ms. Wilson. She indicated that the two are in a relationship. They do live together at the Polar Drive address. They do share the one child. She confirmed the events in the warrant, stated nothing like this has ever happened before. She's not in fear of him. She's okay with him returning to the residence, and she will be on Zoom. Your Honor, the state is requesting a signature bond for pretrial services, a one-day anger awareness course. We'll ask for no further violent contact with Shatina Wilson. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond, and if we may sound for Ms. Wilson at this time, Your Honor.
Ms. Wilson, I see that you're on the line with us. If you'd like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I will need for you to, if you choose to, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in.
Yes, I don't see the thing where I can show my camera, just me talking.
Okay, I'm gonna need for you to activate your camera. Try to figure out how to activate your camera for me, Ms. Wilson. Okay,
I don't
there
know
you
if it's
go. Yes,
okay.
you're with me. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to tell the court?
I just wanted to say this never happened before, and he do work, and he have a job to go to, and right now we are both in between jobs, so I'm not gonna have the money to bail him out. I don't know if he's gonna get a signature bond or not, but I would like to say that he is not a violent person, and it was just probably a heated moment, and I don't want to press charges or anything.
Yeah, this has never happened before?
Never, never, never.
Okay, thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Wilson.
Okay.
Mr. Cook?
Yeah, we would be seeking a signature bond, no further violent contact, and nothing further.
And it'll be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, one-day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Wilson, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Roney.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we will go to position number 4, Isaac Burr.
Good afternoon, Mr. Burr. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001898F for simple battery family violence. Your history, Mr. Howard?
Second arrest, 2012, possession of a controlled substance, dismissed.
Yes, Sean. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 525 Collier Ridge, where they met with the victim, Miss Danielle Churchman. Her and the defendant share a child together. They were having a verbal disagreement that became physical when he choked her and punched her. The state is asking for a $1,500 surety bond, no contact with the victim, Miss Churchman, stay away from the incident location, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. Not sure if Miss Danielle Churchman is on the line, but we will sound for the victim.
If Danielle Churchman is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is, well, I see you there, Ms. Churchman. If you would like to address the court, I'll need, you don't have to, but if you would like to, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
There I
ma'am.
am.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, yes, Ms. Churchman, what would you like to tell the court?
Oh, Your Honor, I'm not really sure where the part where he punched me came into play because that never happened. He never punched me. He's not a violent person. This has not happened in the past. He did put his hands around my neck, but he did not choke me. So I'm not afraid of him or anything like that. And it's okay if he returned to the home to get his belongings and see his son. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. Appreciate you being here this afternoon, Ms. Churchman.
Thank you.
Mr. Cook?
Yes, Your Honor, would be asking, first, my client has just graduated from the Aviation Institute in Duluth and is currently looking for work. We would be asking for a signature only bond and to no further violent contact. The ability, if he doesn't return home to the location, for a third-party transfer so he can see his child, and that would be it, John.
Okay, it'll be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 day anger awareness. No further violent contact with Danielle Churchman, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Burr.
3,000.
Your Honor, can you give another,
Speech.
announcement?
Oh, okay. Yeah. And good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. If you have any objections to having your case heard by video, please let me know when you come before me. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we are providing you the services of a public defender today if you choose to utilize them. Okay, who do we have next?
Position number 5, Kristen Burke.
Good afternoon, Mr. Byrd. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001874A with simple assault family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
8 total. Appears to have an open case out of the Virgin Islands for burglary. Unauthorized possession of a stolen vehicle. 2023 trespass DV. 2022 sale of marijuana.
Graham?
Your Honor, this incident took place on April 10th, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a fight call at 2861 Headland Drive in East Point. Upon arrival, Willina McBride showed the officer video footage of Christian Byrd walking towards her in an aggressive manner, pointing his finger in her face and yelling, "I will F you up," and calling her other expletives. Ms. McBride told the officer that she does not feel safe. She's afraid of Mr. Byrd. The two do live in the same house. Our office has been in touch with Ms. McBride. She states that she's the homeowner of the residence, and she rented out a room to Mr. Byrd and his girlfriend. They began having issues about a week after he moved in. That he's always using verbal language, but this time it was worse. She wants no contact with him, for him to stay away from the residence, that she's filed for a TPO. And that hearing was today at 10 a.m. She's okay with a one-time law enforcement officer escort a visit to retrieve his belongings. The state is requesting a signature bond, Your Honor, through pretrial services, 1 day anger awareness, no further contact with Willina McBride, stay away from 2861 Headland Drive, East Point, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And if we may sound for Ms. McBride, Your Honor, I do believe she's logged in.
Ms. McBride, I see you on the line. If you'd like to address the court, I need for you to activate your camera. Excuse me.
Hello, Your Honor.
Yes, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
What would you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell me?
The TPO was granted today. It was granted. So the judge granted it for him. So I'm just waiting for the paperwork at this point. I did speak with his previous roommate, and he was very violent at that location. And everything that the clerk just said, I back up 100%. I do not want the man back in my home. I fear for him being anywhere near me.
Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. McBride.
Thank you.
Mr. Cook.
All right. I'm sorry, Your Honor. We were muted. I'll have to get my momentum back here. As far as the bond goes, my client was arrested on April 10th in East Point on these charges We are now sitting here on April 15th. That's a clear violation of Georgia Code 17426, and there may be others as well. So in regard to the bond, we believe it should be a signature-only bond through the jail. As far as the conditions, he doesn't want to go back, and if, in fact, if a TPO is in place, then that would be the kind of the regulating a factor here. So, but we are very strongly suggesting to the court that nothing beyond the signature-only bond through the jail would be appropriate since we're 5 days out.
Okay, it will be a $10,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Ms. McBride. Stay away from her residence. He can have a one-time law enforcement escort to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Byrd.
Thank you.
How much was the bond, Judge?
10,000 signature through the jail.
Thank you.
We can go to position number 7. Denson, DeMonte Jr. Sit up. For the next time I see you,
Good afternoon, Mr. Denson. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001901G with reckless conduct and discharge of a firearm near a public highway or street. Is there a history? You're on mute, Mr. Howard.
5th adult arrest, 2023. Possession of a Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance with intent to distribute. Window tint. Possession of a pistol or revolver by person under 18. Theft by receiving. Criminal use of an article with alter ID mark. Tampering with evidence out of Cobb County. That's it.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant was captured on CCTV located at 374 Cleveland Avenue. In a car, it shows him stopping and having a disagreement with a group of kids, at which time he pulls out a handgun and fires into the air. To the 1 count of reckless conduct, we are asking for a $10,000 surety bond. To the discharge of a firearm near a public highway, we're asking for a $5,000 surety bond. Stay away from 374 Cleveland Avenue. No contact with Julia Clay. No weapon, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
Is Julia Clay?
Yes, that's
Who
right.
is that? I'm sorry.
I believe that's one of the people that was a part of this argument that was present when he discharged the firearm.
Okay. If Ms. Clay is with us, now is your opportunity to address the court. Mr. Cook?
Yes, Your Honor. Once again, we have a situation where we're over 3 days out from the arrest, and he's just now appearing in court. We would be seeking, so that's over 72 hours. We would be seeking a signature bond then through the jail, and as far as the conditions of the bond, we would leave that in the court's discretion.
The 374 Cleveland Avenue, is that an address, Mr. Walker, or is that just a site?
I think that's where the incident occurred. Yeah, it didn't. The warrant didn't provide much information what was located at that address.
Okay, I mean, I don't want him to violate that he's driving down Cleveland Avenue, and if he lives on this side of town. For each charge, it will be a $10,000 signature bond through the jail, makes for a total of a $20,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Miss Julia Clay, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Denson.
Next, we could go to position number 8, Karan Edwards.
Edwards is going to be a null process, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Edwards, your case is being dismissed. You have a good day.
Thank you.
We go to position number 10. Ernest Grant.
Good afternoon, Mr. Grant. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001876A with giving false information to law enforcement, driving while license suspended or revoked, operation of a motor vehicle with expired or no license plate, and an equipment violation with your headlights. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Yeah, he got holds out of Cobb and Douglas County. Open drug cases, on probation for drugs. 2023 FTA, 2021 parole violation. Before that was 08 robbery, armed robbery. Possession of a firearm by convicted felon conviction. That's it.
Graham?
Your Honor, this incident took place on April 14, 2024. Ernest Grant was observed driving down Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard with an expired tag and a defective headlight. A traffic stop yielded that Mr. Grant's driver's license is also suspended. The state is requesting signature bond through pretrial services, no driving without license or registration, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Cook?
Yes, Your Honor, we would be, we have no objection to the conditions. We would be seeking a signature bond to the jail.
Okay, I'm going to release him to those holes. So it's for each charge, it's going to be a $250 signature bond through the jail. Makes for a total of $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No driving without a valid license. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Grant.
Your Honor, is it possible for my next case to go next?
It's fine with me, Ms. McLeod. Do we know? I don't know who your case is.
Mr. Proctor?
Hey, Your Honor, it's gonna be after this position number 9.
Okay, all right, so after this one, Ms. McLeod.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and this is Mr. George.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. George. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001875B with battery. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
George. 48. 2024 probation. 2023 felony battery DV. Arrest that's open in Superior Court. 23 CP 222553. 2023 arrest for battery DV, theft by taking, trespass damage. 2021 financial transaction card fraud, theft by taking, simple battery DV. 2015 criminal damage to property conviction. 2015 ag assault battery DV conviction.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place on September 4th, 2023. Law enforcement responded to a dispute call at 12065 Morehouse Drive, Northwest in Atlanta. Cora George struck Diane Henderson several times with a closed fist, causing swelling to her right wrist and bruising to her right shoulder and arm. Our office has been in touch with Ms. Henderson. She says that the two are in a relationship. They do live together. They share no children. She also states that she no longer lives at the incident location. She doesn't recall all of the events in the warrant. She does not recall the incident happening at all. She did state that Mr. George has not been violent in the past. This was the first time, the only time that they've been living together since the incident. No violence. She's not in fear of him. She does want to continue contact. Your Honor, based on the history and the alleged facts, the state is requesting a $1,500 surety bond, 1-day anger awareness course. We'll still ask for no further contact with Diane Henderson. Ask for a stay away from the current residence, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, And we will sound for Ms. Diane Henderson at this time, Your Honor.
Yeah, I see Ms. Henderson on the line. Ms. Henderson, if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. You certainly do not have to, but if you would like to, you need to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in.
Hey, how you doing?
Yes, I'm doing well, Ms. Henderson. If you can raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am.
Okay, I got some Burger King in my hand. My bad.
Okay, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Ms. Henderson. What would you like to tell the court?
We still in a relationship. You know, I don't want to press no charges or nothing.
All
I
right,
want to come home.
are you afraid of him?
No, sir.
Has this happened before?
No.
Okay, and this supposedly happened on September of last year. Have you all been together since that time?
Yes.
Okay, you want to tell me anything else?
No, sir.
All right, thank you for being here, Ms. Henderson. Mr. Cook?
Thank you.
Given the statements of Ms. Henderson to the prosecutor and given her statements here at this moment, we would be seeking a signature bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate. She seems not to be in fear of him, so we would be asking for no further violent contact.
Okay, it'll be a $5,000 signature bond through pre-trial. No further violent contact, level 1, no further violent contact with Diane Henderson, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
This per judge.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. George.
Your Honor, for position number 10, the first charge is giving false information to a law enforcement officer. That was NOD. And you put 250 for each, which will make it 1,000 on his book.
Okay, let's see, Mr. Graham?
Yeah, my apology, Your Honor. The false information charge was an NOD.
Okay, so it'll be 250 on each of the other charges, makes for a total of 750 SOB through the jail. Okay?
Who was that?
Position number 10, right? We can go to position number 11, Mr. Kevin Hart.
Good afternoon, Mr. Harp. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001877E with willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is there a history?
It's fourth arrest. I got an open case in state court for reckless conduct. 2018 possession of marijuana. That was by the feds, I think. 2017 drug trafficking. And 2014 obstruction trespass.
Damn.
Your Honor, this incident took place on April 13, 2024. While Kevin Hart was a passenger in a vehicle that was stopped for an expired registration, he fled from the vehicle, dropping a firearm in the process. He was a passenger in a Sprinter van. It had dark tinted windows, preventing the officers from determining how many occupants were inside. When they opened the door to make that determination, Mr. Hart jumped out and fled on foot. He was detained a short distance away after fleeing southbound on Northside Drive. The state, Your Honor, is requesting a signature bond through the jail, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Okay, so I don't see whose client?
Your Honor, would you please tell me what number are we doing right now?
Position 11, Kevin Hart.
I'll see if Miss Rose. Is it pretty cool?
Your Honor, he stated that he has a private attorney, but there's a on the line. I can interview him and do it, but
What's his attorney's name?
what's your attorney's name?
I forgot. He came to see me yesterday. I forgot the dude's name, but he said a dude named Mark's supposed to be in court right now. He said he gonna send a dude named Mark today. But he came to see me yesterday.
Is there anyone on the line who is representing Mr. Kevin Hart? Okay, Mr. Harp, you have a right to have counsel present. The state has requested a signature bond through the jail. I will give you a signature bond through the jail, so it'll be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Harp.
We could go to position number 27, Mr. Shane Proctor.
Okay, and this was a co-defendant with position number 24. Good afternoon, Mr. Proctor. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0018886D with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
No, sir.
No.
Graham?
And Your Honor, same facts as the previous case. Due to the limited history, the state is requesting a signature bond through pretrial services, a one-day anger awareness, no further contact with Christopher Oliver. Stay away from the 5401 Old National Highway address, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Ms. McLeod?
Your Honor, that is my client's home. It is not the other gentleman's home. He doesn't live there. In fact, my client tells me that he moved to the Carolinas a while back, and then he kind of just showed up back on his doorstep. And that was one of the reasons why they were having this argument. But it is my client's home. His name is on the lease. The other person's name is not on the lease, and he would like to stay in his home. As the court can see, he has absolutely no history whatsoever, Your Honor. So I would ask a signature bond through the jail, and that the complaining witness not contact my client, but he stay away from this residence.
Okay. Who represented Mr. Oliver?
I did, Your Honor, and he did tell me that he is on the lease and he does live there. I didn't see anything about him moving away from my client.
That means he lied, because my client tells me that his name is on the lease and that Mr. Oliver moved back to, I believe, South Carolina.
Well, I believe that means my client lied. Either one of them could be lying for.
Okay, well, clearly there's inconsistency in their statements, but my client tells me this is his home.
That's it.
My only problem, McLeod, is that I've already dealt with Mr. Oliver, and at the time that I dealt with him, I did not issue him a stay away. We did issue a no further contact, but there was no stay away. They're going to have to figure out who can and cannot be in the home, and just because someone, if he's actually living there, he'll have to be evicted. So, for Mr. Proctor to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, no further contact with Christopher Oliver, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. He can go back to the 5401 Old National Highway Apartment 2312. If Mr. Oliver is not at that location, then he can reside there. If Mr. Oliver is at that location, then he's not going to be able to reside there. He's going to have to pick up his belongings, and I guess at some point deal with an eviction process. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Proctor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
You too.
Thank you. Who do we have next?
Position number 12. Garrett Hembry. What? 27? Can you repeat the bond for position number 27?
Position, which one?
27.
$3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
I'm telling you, slide down.
Hey, who is this? What number?
Number 12.
12. Okay.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Ty, just let me know.
Oh, we're ready. Thank you.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that you finish your discussion. Mr. Hembree, good afternoon. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0018.
Can we do it now, Lord? No, we're going there. We're going right there. I'm going right there. Matthews, you're going that way. You're going that way. You know. Lord, can we do it now? I'm sorry, can we do it next? Lord, don't get out my way, please. Who is it? Hey, Sarge, now, I'm not gonna cater to them like that. I'm not gonna say, there's no trouble. She gotta go. Come on, man. I'll be getting more. Maggie.
We can go ahead with position number 12.
Okay. Mr. Hembree, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001878H with racing, speeding, failure to maintain lane, and reckless driving. Is there a history?
No.
Mr. Graham?
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place April 14, 2024. While conducting stationary speed enforcement on I-75 North near the Morrisville Road exit, law enforcement observed Garrett Hembree driving a black Kia Stinger at 100 miles an hour in a 65-mile-per-hour zone. He was traveling behind a black Dodge Charger, roughly about the same speed. Mr. Garrett then crossed all lanes of travel to navigate a right-hand curve. He accelerated rapidly, creating some distance between him and the Dodge Charger. The officer was able to catch up to him as he approached the Cumberland exit, number 258. Mr. Garrett quickly made a lane change and rapidly slowed behind another vehicle. The officer then activated his patrol car's emergency equipment, at which point Mr. Garrett pulled to the shoulder. The vehicle was shut off. And Your Honor, I was able to find a speeding citation from January of this year, 75 in the 55-mile-per-hour zone, and also September of last year, an improper U-turn citation. So the state is requesting a $2,500 signature bond, Your Honor, $1,000 on the racing, $1,000 on the speeding, and $250 for the two other charges. We're asking for a driving curfew, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Aside from the driving curfew, Mr. Ty, do you have any objections?
Your Honor, it was a little bit choppy. I didn't hear everything, but I'll just go ahead and say my client is 21 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He's a high school graduate who's gainfully employed as a subcontractor. So I would object to any kind of driving restriction. He's charged with speeding here, Your Honor. He's already spent some time in jail for that. This is his very first arrest. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail.
For the racing, $1,000 signature bond through the jail. For the speeding, $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Failure to maintain lane, a $250 signature bond through the jail. Reckless driving, $250 signature bond through the jail. Makes for a total of a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Hembree.
Thank you.
Next, we will go to position number 16. Martavius Hudges.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hodges. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001903B with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
17. Last was 2011, possession of a firearm. He got robbery convictions in his history, but I didn't see any DV history, and the robberies are old.
Okay.
Yeah, Sharon, this is my case. I'm not, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you, Mr.
Yeah, my
Walker.
screen just went black, so I don't know if you want me to proceed, but
No, you can go ahead if you like.
okay. I'm sorry. I'll start over after this case. But in this case,
Okay.
law enforcement was dispatched to 941 Ridge Avenue where they met with the victim, Shamika Foster. She advised that her and the defendant were in a domestic dispute when things became physical when he punched her in the head. The state is asking for a $2,000 surety bond, no contact with Miss Shamika Foster, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
If Ms. Shamika Foster is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident allegedly occurred September last year. My client is a 43-year-old father of one minor child, and he is expecting twins any day now. He's lived in Georgia all his life. He is gainfully employed at UPS. He does deny the allegations. Again, this happened September of last year. He states that the complaining witness was the first aggressor who actually left him with permanent injuries to his nose. I would ask, I think, Your Honor, there is some history, but it's old, like 14 years ago. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail, Your Honor, and of course, a no further contact and state is fine. They don't see each other.
A $3,000 signature bond through the jail, no further contact with Ms. Foster, stay away from the Bridge Avenue address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Hodges.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Next, we could go to position number 17, Jerry Hughley.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hughley. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0018888Y with willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Hold on. Yeah, 17 total. On probation for robbery, ag assault. It's 23 SC 190543. Also on probation for 2 counts of disorderly conduct, 1 count simple battery. 22 SC 183133. 2023 arrest for false imprisonment, kidnapping, obstruction. 2016 battery DV conviction, 2012 robbery conviction, and he got a felony probation hold. That's it.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place on April 12, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a trespass in the vacant unit at 3060 Washington Road, Apartment 8 in East Point. Officers attempted to clear the house. They found Jerry Hughley inside. When instructed to put his hands behind his back, he ran and attempted to jump a gate, but was unsuccessful. The state is requesting a signature bond through the jail, Your Honor. Stay away from 3060 Washington Road. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Hi.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 34 years old. He is the father of 2 minor children. He's lived in Georgia all his life and is gainfully employed at Pro Logistics. I have no objection to the signature bond through the jail. I don't understand, based on reading the warrant, why he was here, in custody for willful obstruction. The warrant doesn't even state what was the reason.
Okay, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the Washington Road address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Hughley. Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Next, we could go to position number 19. Can Travis Jones.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001906C with reckless conduct. Is there a history?
6 total. 2023 carrying weapons within school safety zone or function. PI out of Cobb County.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case,
Hold on. You're on probation for that, just FYI. out of Cobb. And that's it. Oh, 2015 battery conviction. That's all. All right.
In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 36 Macon Place, where they met with the victim, Laquita Smith. She realized that her boyfriend and her were having an argument, at which time he took a handgun and fired it out the window. The state is asking for a $10,000 surety bond, a no contact with Miss Laquita Smith, a stay away from the incident location, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. I'm not sure if Miss Smith is on the line, but we will sign for the victim.
Ms. Smith is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so.
Your Honor, Ms. Smith is here as a defendant in a different matter, unrelated. She's the breakout at the end.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Ty.
Your Honor, my client is 34 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. Again, this is a Riverside issue, Your Honor. He was booked in on April 12th at 1:45. So it's been past the 72 hours. So he does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant, but I would still ask for a signature bond through the jail due to the Riverside issue, Your Honor.
And, the relationship with Laquita Smith, I didn't hear it. The state asked for no further contact.
I did. From my understanding, they're boyfriend and girlfriend. But the state did ask for a stay away and no further contact. From my understanding, that this address is Miss Smith's family's home.
Yeah, the stay away and no further contact, we don't object other than, the fact that it's a Riverside and restriction.
Okay, I didn't hear you speak to that, Mr. Ty, so. It'll be a $5,000 signature bond through the jail, no further contact with Ms. Smith, stay away from the Macon Place address, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Back to you, Mr. Jones.
What position was this?
19,
Oh,
Jones.
okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, he had 2 charges on his booking sheet. One was reckless conduct, the other was possession of marijuana. Then
Mr. Walker, was the marijuana possession?
It was NOD, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you. Go to position number 21.
Okay. And this is Mr. Is it Kigwilla? Yes, good afternoon, sir. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001905G with burning of woodlands without precautions to prevent escape of fire and possession and use of drug-related objects. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
10 total. He got an open possession of meth case and obstruction and DUI, but out of Cobb. But he don't have a history of these charges.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Law enforcement was dispatched to the underpass located at I-85 southbound Piedmont Road. Law enforcement was called because the defendant was seen sitting 2 fires under the underpass. The state is asking for a $5,000 surety bond to the burning of the woodlands. The drug-related object, we're asking for SOB jail. We're asking for a stay away from that incident location, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 34 years old. He has lived in Georgia for over 15 years. He's a high school graduate who also attended some college. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. The warrant that I read just state that he was near a fire. I don't think that he does deny the allegations. So I would ask for a signature bond through the jail on both charges, Your Honor.
Does he have housing, Ms. Matai?
Your Honor, I'm not exactly sure. I will request for a social worker to visit him, but he has an address in Ackworth and states that he does live there.
if he needs the assistance of the social workers for us to help him with the housing, I'd like for that to be done. Otherwise, for the burning of Woodlands, it'll be a $10,000 signature bond through the jail. For the possession of drug-related objects, $1,000 signature bond through the jail, makes for a total of an $11,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from that Piedmont Road underpass, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position number 22. What's his name? Jamar McCary.
Okay, position 22, Mr. McCrary.
How you doing, y'all?
Yes, good afternoon, sir. I'm very well. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0018889J with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
19 total. 2022 suspended license. 2017 ag assault, ag battery. Possession of a firearm during the commission of obstruction. Those were convictions. I think he may have gone to felony today for ag assault and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. That's it.
Mr. Graham?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place on March 7, 2024. An off-duty officer at Tyler Perry Studios, located 315 Deschler Street Southwest, was alerted to Jamar McCrary trespassing on the property. He was spotted walking near the sound stage. When asked if he was an employee of the studio, he responded that he was sent by the government to seize the property from Tyler Perry and that he was the new owner of the property. The officer issued him a trespass warning. He left the property without further incident. It was later determined via surveillance footage that Mr. McCrary had used a ladder and jumped the fence at the rear of the property, and he had been issued a trespass warning before on November 13, 2023. Says requesting a signature bond through the pretrial services, Your Honor. MHET, stay away from the incident location, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 38 years old. He is the father of 5 minor children. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He's gainfully employed as a cook at Hard Rock Cafe for the last 4 years. This incident happened March 7th, Your Honor. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. It's a criminal trespass. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail on this. As you heard, I guess he's here also he had a felony first appearance this morning. I'm not sure what happened there. I would object to the MHET. If he is going to be here longer with the felony charges, I'll request a social worker to visit him. He's fine with the KOA. And again, I'm asking for a signature bond through the jail. So further.
Signature bond through jail. Stay away from Tyler Perry Studios. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
What was that amount?
$3,000 signature bond through the jail.
Next, we go to position number 23. Randy Monique.
Good afternoon, Mr. Menifee. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001892G with driving under the influence of alcohol, driving while license is suspended or revoked, and equipment violations. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Second arrest. Suspended license, obstruction, fleeing an officer, and possession of marijuana. That's it.
Graham?
I think, Your Honor, this incident took place on April 14, 2024. Law enforcement conducted a traffic stop for a vehicle with no headlights. The driver was Randy Menifee. Upon approaching the vehicle, the officer smelled a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage. He observed Mr. Menifee's eyes to be glossed over, sleepy, and bloodshot. Mr. Menifee consented to field sobriety test. Based on the results, he was taken into custody, and a breath test yielded a reading of 0.08 above the legal limit. Also, Mr. Menifee's driver's license was suspended. The state is requesting a $1,500 surety bond, Your Honor, $1,000 on the DUI, and $250 on the two remaining charges, ADET, no driving without a valid license, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
It's a tie.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 26 years old. He is the father of one minor child. He's lived in Georgia all his life. He is gainfully employed at Enterprise, and he's been doing that for the last 4 years. When I saw the pretrial report, he had an arrest in 2021, but he has a clean he has no criminal record. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. Because of the lack of criminal history and the strong ties to the community, I would ask for a signature bond through the jail, Your Honor.
For the DUI, it'll be $1,000 good bond. For the suspended license, a $250 good bond. The equipment violation, a $250 good bond, makes for a total of a $1,500 good bond. No driving without a valid license. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
We can go to position number 35. Teodo Tirado Hector. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tirado. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001897F with battery family violence. Let's see, who's representing Mr. Tirado?
Brian Brown is the attorney. I believe Sterling Dixon may be the attorney on the case.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Dixon with us?
It's a first arrest.
I knew he was with us earlier because he chatted me in the chat, but maybe he stepped away. Not sure.
Can we can I have someone chat him directly to let him know that we're with him, his client? It's my understanding, Mr. Dixon. Good afternoon. You're representing Mr. Tirado?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Howard, is there a history?
First arrest.
Okay. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Sean. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 35 Milton Ave. I believe that is the Hamilton Hotel where they met with the victim, Danielle Tirado. She advised that her husband was the defendant. Were in a verbal disagreement, things became physical. He physically threw her out of the hotel room, causing visible injuries. The state did attempt to reach out to Ms. Tirado. We are unsuccessful, but we are asking for a signature round through pretrial services, stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, no weapons or alcohol while on bond. I believe that defense counsel was attempting to reach out to Ms. Tirado, so she very well may be on the line.
I see Ms. Tirado on the line. Ms. Tirado, if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. If you would like to address the court, I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
And if you can place your hand down, what would you like to tell the court?
I was not contacted by anybody in the state to discuss anything that I'm aware of. I never got a call or anything. This was a very drunken misunderstanding. We were at a hotel for the night, and it is not a ever common or past occurrence that has ever happened. The main initial call was I wanted to get back into the hotel room. It was never supposed to, it wasn't anything more than that.
Okay. You wish to have him back in your household?
Yes, sir.
Has this ever happened before?
No, sir.
Are you afraid of him?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Tirado.
Thank you.
Mr. Dixon?
Judge, I appreciate Ms. Tirado being here. As she stated, I represent, and as you know, I represent Mr. Tirado. He is I believe he's 35 years old, Judge. Him and Ms. Tirado have been married for 7 years. They share 3 kids together. He's a firefighter here in Coweta County for the Noonan fire department, and he's also a real estate agent. I don't, he has no prior record. I don't believe that he's a risk to reoffend, Judge, based on what Ms. Torado stated here today. And we would be asking for a signature bond. I believe he has been in custody for 72 hours, so we would be asking for a signature bond. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Torado, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
And Judge, I'm
All right.
sorry that I was a little late. I was having a little technical difficulty, so sorry about that.
No worries, Mr. Dixon. I saw that you were here.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you all.
Thank you, Judge. That's all my business. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Who do we have next?
Position number 29. Montori Rucker.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rucker. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001907E with possession of a pistol or revolver by a person under 18 years of age and certain acts on a bus, rail station that are prohibited. Is there a history? Well, okay. Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant was observed at the Lakewood MARTA station going through the gates without paying the proper fare. Officer made contact with the defendant to arrest him for the violation. Search incident to arrest revealed that he had a firearm on his person and he is under the age of 18. We are asking for a $10,000 surety bond on the possession of a pistol under the age of 18. For the certain acts on a MARTA station, we're asking for an SOB jail. We're asking for a stay away from all MARTA, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
I'm sorry, Mr. Walker, how much did you request for the possession of a pistol?
$10,000 surety bond.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. Woodbury.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Rucker is 17. He lives with his mom in Atlanta. He tells me that he completed the 11th grade and he works building houses with his dad's company. Judge, he's very young. This is his first arrest. He also was arrested over 72 hours ago. He was arrested April 4th at 2:52 p.m. We would be asking for a signature bond. His mother, Lavette Rucker, has confirmed to me that she can co-sign if needed.
And Your Honor, if I could just check the booking on this. Because this just happened on the 12th, so if he was arrested, it had to be on something else, Ms. Rose. So I don't think this is a Riverside issue.
Am I doing my math right? He was arrested on the 12th. Today's the 15th. That's 3 days.
1 second. I thought you said another date, but let me just confirm what time it was. Well, it says okay, I see. It says he was booked in on the 13th, but okay.
Okay, for the possession of a pistol, it'd be a $10,000 signature bond through the jail. For the certain acts on a bus, rail station prohibited, $1,000 signature bond through the jail, makes for a total of $11,000 signature bond through the jail. Abide by any MARTA suspensions. I'm gonna have him have a curfew from 9. He has to be in by 9 p.m. and stay in until 6 a.m. He's to surrender all firearms and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your Honor, while I'm doing my math, it says that he was arrested at 2:52 p.m. and court starts at 2, so he technically was not held for longer than 72 hours. I just want to make it clear.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Walker. All right, good luck to you, Mr. Rucker.
Thank you, Judge.
Next, we could do position number 20. Terry Drew.
What number is this?
Position number 20.
20.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jules. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001899G with terroristic threats and acts and simple assault. Is your history, Mr. Howard?
You got 41 total. 2023 PR trespass, criminal damage to property open. It's 23 CP 221483. Shoplifting from 2023, probation. 2020 burglary conviction, trespass conviction, petty theft conviction. 2019 carrying concealed weapon conviction. 2018 probation. 2017 battery conviction.
Law enforcement was dispatched to 1325 North Point Drive in Alpharetta. I believe that's a Sonesta Suites Hotel where they met with the victim, Rosemary Collins. Her and the defendant were having a disagreement when he aggressively approached her and raised his fist as if he was going to punch her. The state is going to null process the count of terroristic threats, and we're only proceeding with the simple assault. We are asking for $1,000 surety bond. That count, stay away from the incident location. No contact with Miss Rosemary Collins. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol bond.
Has your office spoken with Ms. Collins, Mr. Walker?
Checking it now, Your Honor.
Okay. And if Ms. Collins is on the line and wishes to address the court, now will be your opportunity.
We were unable to make contact.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Cook?
Your Honor, my client denies the allegations. We would be seeking a signature bond at whatever level the court deems appropriate, and we have no objection to the conditions.
The terroristic threats, it's my understanding, will be null pros. The simple assault will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with Ms. Collins. Stay away from the North Point Drive address. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Jules.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's it.
Judge, I missed that. What was that?
$3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2.
Your Honor, is the Spanish interpreter still on?
Yes, she's still on.
Can we do those two next?
Okay. And are they in court?
Waiting for the door. You take him out here. I'm gonna take him out there.
We could go to position number 25.
Where you going back?
On Roscoe, you were.
No, he is gonna say.
Orozco Uriarte.
I need to see some of the behind. Before you think, give me 2 seconds. Hold on. Yeah.
And this is your client, Ms. Woodbury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Orozco. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Buenas tardes, señor Orozco. Soy el juez Eric Morrow y esta es la audiencia de lista de causas estatales de trámite rápido. Estamos conduciendo esta audiencia a distancia. ¿Está de acuerdo con que tratemos su caso de este modo? Yes, it's fine.
You have been charged with battery family violence.
Tiene un cargo por golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar.
Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
¿Hay antecedentes, señor Howard?
No.
Was that a no?
Yes, I believe it was a no.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place April 13, 2024. Law enforcement responded to 2265 Perry Boulevard, Northwest in Atlanta.
Este incidente ocurrió el 13 de abril del 2024. La policía fue enviada al 125 Northwood Drive en Atlanta.
This case involves the cross-defendant Adela Perez Aguilar, which was position 26.
Este caso involucra a la coacusada Pérez Aguilar, que es la posición número 26.
Ms. Perez Aguilar explained that during the argument, Mr. Orozco grabbed her and dragged her into the bedroom, I'm sorry.
La señora Pérez Aguilar declaró que durante la disputa el acusado la tomó por el brazo y la metió en la recámara.
When she tried to break free and scream, he placed his fingers down her throat to prevent her from doing so.
Cuando ella trató de gritar, él la tomó por el cuello, tratando de evitar que ella lo hiciera.
He also bit her on the neck, and she sustained lacerations to her neck and chest from the incident.
Él también la mordió en el cuello y ella sostuvo lesiones en el cuello y en el pecho debido a esto.
State is requesting a signature bond through pretrial services, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Adela Perez Aguilar. Stay away from the incident location, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Se recomienda una una fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio y también tomar una clase de control de la ira, no tener más contacto con la señora Pérez Aguilar, mantenerse distanciado del domicilio y queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté bajo fianza.
Judge, we have no objection to the signature bond. The only issue is that that residence is the only place he has to stay. He tells me his name is on the lease and on the bills there. He denies these allegations, Judge, and tells me that it was Miss Aguilar who was the aggressor, and he works in janitorial and construction.
Su señoría, no tenemos ninguna objeción con una fianza bajo firma, pero también quería comentarle que esta es la única residencia que mi cliente tiene, todo está bajo el nombre de él, me refiero al contrato de arrendamiento, él niega todos los alegatos y alega que la señora Pérez Aguilar fue la agresora. Él trabaja como en mantenimiento de limpieza y construcción.
Okay, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pre-trial level 1.
Va a ser una fianza bajo firma de $3,000 a través de los servicios previos al juicio con un nivel 1.
1-day anger awareness.
Una clase de concientización de la ira.
No further contact with Ms. Perez Aguilar.
No tener ningún contacto alguno con la señora Pérez Aguilar.
Stay away from the Perry Boulevard address.
Y mantenerse distanciado del domicilio Perry. Did you say Northwood or
Boulevard?
Oh, okay. Northwood Boulevard.
Perry Boulevard, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Perry Boulevard. Disculpe, señor.
He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that he might have there.
Puede regresar solo en una oportunidad acompañado con un oficial de policía para retirar todas sus pertenencias.
Drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Y queda prohibido el uso para usted de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté bajo fianza.
Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
We've got position number 28, Rosa.
Señor Rosas.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rosas. I am Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Buenas tardes, señor Rosas. Yo soy el juez Eric Morrow y esta es la audiencia de lista de causas estatales de trámite rápido. Estamos conduciendo la teleaudiencia a distancia. ¿Está de acuerdo con que manejemos su caso de este modo?
Sí.
Yes.
You have been charged with simple battery, family violence, criminal trespass, and damage to property, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer.
Usted tiene un cargo por golpes y lesiones simples, violencia familiar, el segundo por allanamiento de morada con daño a la propiedad y el tercero por obstrucción a la autoridad.
Your Honor, there are 4 charges on his booking sheet.
The fourth one was NOD.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know.
El cuarto cargo fue desestimado.
Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Hay antecedentes, señor Howard.
Second arrest, 2016 DUI, driving without a valid license.
Este es el segundo arresto. El anterior fue en el 2016 por manejar bajo los efectos del alcohol y manejar sin licencia.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 125 Northwood Drive, where they met with the victim, Ms. Shuri Nava.
La policía fue enviada al 125 Northwood Drive y ellos se contactaron con Zuri Nava.
She advised that the defendant became irate and he kicked in a door at that location.
Ella declaró que el acusado se irritó y pateó una puerta en esta localidad.
And then he proceeded to pull her hair and punch her in the face with a closed fist.
Y él procedió a agarrarla del cabello y a bofetearla en la cara varias veces.
When law enforcement arrived, he resisted arrest, and that is the basis of the obstruction.
Cuando la policía llegó, él resistió el arresto, por eso se le otorgó el cargo de obstrucción a la autoridad.
To the one count of simple battery family violence, we are asked for a $1,500 surety bond. To the criminal trespass, we're asked for a $500 surety bond. To the obstruction, another $500 surety bond. No contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
La sentencia recomendada es de $1,500 bajo garantía por el cargo de golpes y lesiones simples, violencia familiar, $500 de fianza bajo garantía por el cargo de allanamiento de morada con daño a la propiedad, $500 de fianza bajo garantía por obstrucción a la autoridad. Se prohíbe, no puede tener más contacto con la víctima, debe mantenerse alejado de la dirección mencionada y queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras esté bajo fianza.
We have had contact with the victim, and she advised our office that they do have a domestic violence history in Mexico, and that she's fearful for her safety, and she's requesting a no contact and a stay away. I'm not sure if Ms. Nava is on the line, but we would sign for the victim, Ms. Shuri Nava.
Pudimos contactar a la víctima, quien dijo que ya tienen una historial de violencia en México, que no quiere más contacto. Ella teme por su seguridad, quiere que se mantenga también alejado o distanciado del domicilio de la residencia. Mr. Walker, would you like me to call Ms. Nava?
Please.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to make sure. Señora Zuri Nava, ¿está presente en la plataforma de Zoom? Por favor, avísenos. Prenda su cámara. Zuri Nava.
Doesn't appear so. Ms. Woodbury?
Ye- Yes, Your
Sí.
Honor.
Oh, oh, here, I think someone.
Sound for
Señora
her?
Suri Nava.
Sí, soy yo.
Yes, I am. ¿Puede prender su cámara, por favor?
Ah, no me deja iniciarla.
¿Quién?
Dice no se puede acceder a la cámara.
It says that it's not possible to access the camera on the screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna need for her to have access to a camera if she'd like to talk to me. I'm happy to have her here, but she'll have to be on camera.
Estaré con mucho gusto, yo la dejaré que hable conmigo y esté aquí en la plataforma, pero tiene que tener la posibilidad de prender su cámara.
Ok.
Ok. ¿Necesita tiempo?
Sí.
Is there any way we can send her a prompt to enable her camera to come on?
I've said it to her 3 times.
Oh,
Ya se le han mandado una petición para que usted permita que se use la cámara de su teléfono o del aparato que tenga.
Sí, ya le puse iniciar, pero me sale lo mismo, no se puede acceder a la cámara. Le pongo aceptar.
Yeah,
pone
sí,
que
sí,
puede.
acepte. Yes, allow it. ¿Me puede decir qué está pasando? Can you
Me
tell me
sigue
what's going on?
saliendo lo mismo.
I'm getting the same response.
Yeah, she tried logging out and coming back in.
¿Puede tratar de salir de la plataforma de Zoom y volver a entrar, por favor?
Ok.
Ok.
Déjenme ver.
¿Puede salir?
While she's doing that, Ms. Woodbury, would you like to?
Sure, Your Honor. Mr. Rosas Galvin is 31 years old. He tells me that he's been in Georgia for 11 years. He has one son here. He does tell me he has somewhere else he can stay. He can stay with a friend. So we're not going to object to the stay away if that's what the state is asking for. He is gainfully employed. He does landscaping work. And Judge, we're asking for a signature bond today, but no objection to conditions.
Su señoría, mi cliente tiene 31 años de edad, hace 11 años que ha vivido en Georgia y tiene un hijo varón. Él me ha dicho que puede quedarse con un amigo, no tenemos objeción. Él trabaja en paisajismo y pedimos que se le otorgue, en vez de una fianza bajo garantía, que sea una bajo firma. Y no hay objeción a el resto de las condiciones.
Would you sound? I see that Ms. Nova is back on. Would you see if she can activate her camera now?
Señora Nava, ¿puede prender su cámara ahora?
No, me sigue sin dejar, no me da acceso.
No, I
Déjeme
cannot.
vuelvo a salir y
I'll do it one last time.
Okay, there she is.
Señora, ¿puede prender su micrófono?
Listo.
That's it.
Okay, very good. If you can raise your right hand for me.
¿Puede levantar su mano derecha, por favor?
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
¿Jura o afirma que la declaración que dará ante este tribunal será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
¿Puede bajar su mano? ¿Qué quisiera decirle al juez?
Que quisiera que arreglemos lo de las cosas para lo del niño porque tenemos un hijo en común.
I would like to come to an agreement about our son. We have a son together. ¿Algo más? Anything else?
Solo eso.
Only that.
Has this happened before?
¿Ha pasado esto antes?
Sí, en México. Somos
Yes, in
pareja
Mexico.
desde más de 13 años.
We have been together for more than 13 years.
Okay, you had to found it necessary to call the police to assist you?
¿Usted consideró necesario llamar a la policía para que viniera a asistirla?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Anything further that you'd like to tell the court?
¿Hay algo más que quisiera decirle que quisiera decirme?
No, es todo.
No, that's all.
Okay. Thank you for being here.
Gracias por estar aquí. Muy bien.
For the simple battery, it's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Por el cargo de golpes y lesiones, será una fianza de $2,000 bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio con el nivel 1.
For the criminal trespass, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Por el caso de allanamiento de morada será $1,000, una fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio, el nivel 1.
For the obstruction, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Y por el cargo de obstrucción a la autoridad, $1,000 de fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio con el nivel 1.
For the time being, no further contact with Ms. Nova.
Por el momento, ningún tipo de contacto con la señora Nova.
Stay away from the 125 Northwood Drive address.
Mantenerse distanciado de la dirección del 125 Northwood Drive.
You can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings he might have there.
Puede regresar solamente en una oportunidad con un oficial de policía para retirar sus pertenencias que pueda tener allí.
Third party transfer of any minor children for visitation.
Tiene que intervenir una tercera persona para planear el transporte de visita por el menor.
No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas durante este tiempo bajo fianza.
Good luck to you both.
Buena suerte a los dos.
Gracias.
Thank you.
And are we in need of Ms. Chancellor for any other cases today?
I don't think so, Your Honor, but
Okay.
I can ask if you want me to.
Okay, I don't think, go ahead and just so we can make sure if anyone needs your assistance. Thank you.
Yes, sir. ¿Hay alguien que necesite un intérprete en español para hablar con el señor juez? Por favor, prenda su cámara y háblenos o avísenos. Gracias.
Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Chancellor.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Have a good evening.
You do the same. Thank you. Who do we have next?
We can go to the add-on calendar, position number 1, Nicholas George.
Hey, that last position was 4,000, right?
Yes. Let's see. Good afternoon, Mr. Nichols. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001894Y with battery family violence. The history.
Nichols, second arrest, 2011 DUI dismissed.
Walker.
In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 4009 Tree Ridge Parkway in Alpharetta. When they met with the victim, Ms. Dana Caselli, they were dispatched to that location due to a domestic dispute. Ms. Caselli explained to the officer that her and the defendant, her boyfriend, were having a verbal disagreement, at which time he struck her in the face. The officer did observe red discoloration to her face. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. No contact with Ms. Caselli. Stay away from the incident location. Family violence intervention program, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. I believe that Ms. Caselli is on the line, so we would sound for her.
Ms. Caselli, if you'd like to address the court, I'll need for you to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
I just want to say thank you, Your Honor. We've been together for 7 years. George has lived here with me for 7 years. I do not want to press charges on the family violence simple battery. He has a great job and is very good at it. So, but I do want a no violence contact order, please, sir.
Has this ever happened before?
No, sir.
Are you afraid of him?
No, sir.
And you all do live together?
We do, yes, sir, for 7 years.
Okay, all right. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Ms. Caselli.
Thanks.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is Miss 41 years old, and we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial and no further violent contact since his girlfriend is not afraid of him. They do not have any child, and however, he has to support 4 minor children. So we would like to request for his fast release. Pretrial service is not objected. Thanks.
All right, it'll be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Caselli, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Nichols.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
We can go to position number 3 on the add-on calendar. Mr. Strozer.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Strozier. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001911C with reckless conduct and battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Third arrest. 2019 simple battery. Disrupting public school conviction. 19 SC 165097. 2016 simple battery. Unlawful for a person to participate in criminal street gang. 2015 entering auto first offender.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place April 14, 2024. Law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute at the Rolling Benz Apartments. It's located 2500 Center Street in Atlanta. Upon arrival, the officer made contact with the victim, Taquizia Shields, Taquisia Shields, who explained that she and William Strozier, who was the father of her child, got into a verbal dispute. The argument became, the two were in the bedroom when the argument began, at which point Mr. Strozier began to choke Miss Shields before pulling out a gun, a Ruger 57. Out of fear for her life, Miss Shields grabbed a knife. Mr. Strozier attempted to take the knife from her. A struggle ensued, from which Miss Shields sustained a cut on her right hand. Upon speaking to Mr. Strozier, he admitted to an altercation and to grabbing Miss Shields by the neck and pulling out the gun on her. A witness was present that told the officer that she did see Mr. Strozier get on top of Miss Shields with his hands on her neck in the bathtub and heard what sounded like the slide of a gun being pulled back. Our office has not been able to get in touch with Miss Shields. Your Honor, the state is requesting a $10,000 surety bond. No further contact with Taquizia Shields. Stay away from Rolling Benz Apartments at 2500 Center Street. We're requesting FVIP, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. And if we may sound for Miss Shields, Your Honor, I think I see her logged in.
If Ms. Shields is on the line and wishes to address the court, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and you'll unmute yourself. Okay. Yes, can you raise your right hand for me, ma'am? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to tell the court?
I would like to say I don't want to press charges against him. We both was under influence of alcohol that night and a lot of stuff did occur. But I do not feel like he's dangerous or am I afraid of him at all.
Has this
We do
ever
have a
happened?
2-month-old.
Has this happened before?
No,
And are you afraid of him?
no,
Okay. Anything further, Ms. Shields?
no, sir.
All right, thank you for being here this afternoon. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your
All right,
Honor.
thank you.
Mr. Strozier is 26 years old, and I believe his mother is also here on the screen, supporting him. Your Honor, we would like to request for a signature on bond through pretrial level 1. They do not live together, and they will have a child together. A third-party transfer is fine. We prefer no for the violent contact since his girlfriend is not afraid of him. I don't think that he is a flight risk. That's it, Your Honor. He is gainfully employed, and he worked at Sunpad warehouse. Now he's working as a bus truck driver, and he's been doing it for about 5 years. He is being responsible for his children. Thank you.
Okay, for the reckless conduct, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. The battery, $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. The reckless conduct, just to make sure, it was a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. The battery was a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. It makes for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 1-day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Shields, relinquish any firearms that he has, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Strozier.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
When you say that, are you?
We can go to position number 33 on the main calendar.
So you can, the misdemeanor.
Kristen Stalwart. Gotta get to.
So look at it going up on close. The NOD.
Have to see right here.
Yeah, but it may just be.
And Your Honor, we have a new ASG, Taylor Desiano, that's going to be appearing today.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, Ms. Desiano. Welcome to the court.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we'll look at it. Sure, yeah, it was mine.
Okay, I'm having difficulty hearing courtroom 2. All right, Mr. Stallworth, good afternoon. You've been charged in case 24 CR 0018883 H with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Second arrest, 2021, home invasion, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission, ag assault, armed robbery, on probation for the robbery, 19 SC 173819.
Your Honor, officers were dispatched to 450 Piedmont Avenue Northeast in response to a domestic dispute. The victim is identified as Marlo Blackwell. She's defendant's girlfriend. They're living together at that same address. She advised they were fighting after she caught him cheating on her, and the defendant punched Miss Blackwell in the face multiple times. The officer observed that she had swelling in a black eye. Miss Blackwell did admit to punching the defendant as well. However, she was not arrested. At this point, the state, in light of those facts, the state will recommend a signature bond through pretrial services, a stay away from 450 Piedmont Avenue, Atlanta, no alcohol, drugs, or weapon while out on bond, and no further contact with Miss Blackwell in addition to FVIP. Our victim advocates were not able to get in touch with Miss Blackwell, but I would sound for her at this time. Miss Blackwell. Marlo Blackwell.
Ms. Woodbury?
Judge, we're in agreement with the signature bond, as recommended by the state. Unless the court wants to hear anything further from me, we would agree to that signature bond.
Objection to content and stay away.
Judge, we would just ask for one trip, to collect his belongings. He believes he can live with his sister.
Judge, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Blackwell. Stay away from the Piedmont Avenue address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Stallworth.
This would be per judge.
Okay. Who do we have next? Okay, you're muted, courtroom, Tim.
Position number 34, Mr. Charles Thomas.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001890F with criminal trespass. Your history, Mr. Howard?
This is 9th arrest. Couple of parole violations from 2015. He's on parole for life for a CWAT charge, and he got a parole hold.
Messiano?
Yes, Judge, the East Point police were patrolling the marketplace area around Target in East Point when they observed a black male wearing all black clothing, pulling on the employee entrance to the door of Target. An officer approached the subject, who was later identified as Mr. Thomas, and asked him if he worked at the Target. He initially said that he did, but later admitted that he was just there to use the bathroom. The manager of the Target also confirmed that the defendant did not work there and asked him to leave. The officer spoke with another employee of the Target. His name is Lucas Mobley, the victim in this case, who stated that he found the defendant sleeping in his car in the parking lot and asked him to get out. The defendant did admit that he was in the car because he was cold. At this point, the state would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services, a stay away from the Target in East Point, no alcohol, drugs, or weapon while out on bond, and no further contact with Lucas Mobley. I don't believe that the victim advocates have got in touch with Mr. Mobley, but asked the court first to sound for him at this time.
The court now to do so. So, Ms. Kim?
We would like to request for signature on bond through jail. He's not going anywhere because of parole violation. He is 72 years old, and I believe he is residentially challenged. So I'm going to ask a social worker to help him out. And I try to find his caregiver. He gave me a name of the cousin who has been taking care of him, and I was not able to find the phone number, but I'm trying to Google and try to find by Truth Finder. Hopefully I'll be able to find some contact for him. I don't think he has any phone number with him, so he's not going to be able to get out anywhere.
Be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the East Point Target. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Social worker visit to assist with housing. And no further contact with Mr. Mobley. Good luck to you, Mr. Thomas. Next.
I have condition number 32. Miss Laquita Smith.
And that was the one, Your Honor. I just wanted a quick breakout room.
Okay.
If possible.
Yes, that's fine, Ms. Whipper. Have we completed everyone else in courtroom 2?
Yes.
Okay, so if we can go into a breakout room, Mr. Walker, Ms. Kim, Ms. Woodbury? Would you like Ms. Desiato also?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh, and
Yeah.
$1,000.
I need to go in the breakout room also. SG Denise.
Okay, let's see. If Miss Angela Wright is with me, now is your opportunity to address the court if you choose to. Ms. Smith, we have had the opportunity to discuss your case with counsel. Your bond will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Angela Wright, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Smith. Okay, let's see. All right, it looks like that takes care of everyone. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Let's see. Ms. Bridgewater, you need a minute?
No, I'm gonna keep going while we got it.
Okay.
If I stumble along the way, somebody help me out, okay? Okay, once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be April the 30th. On the regular calendar, position number 1 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. Position 2 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 3, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 4 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 5, reset further notice with a total $10,000 SOB through the jail. 6, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 7, reset further notice with a total $20,000 SOB through the jail. Position number 8 is null crossed. Position number 9 is reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 10 is reset further notice with a total $750 SOB through the jail with, with position number 1 being not on docket. 11, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. 12, reset further notice with a total $2,500 SOB through the jail. 13 is reset further notice with a total $10,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. 14, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. 15, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. 16, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. 17, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 18, reset further notice with a $10,000 SOB through the jail. 19, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through the jail. 20, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial, with charge number 1 being null cross. 21, reset further notice with a total $11,000 SOB through the jail. 22 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. 23 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,500 good bond. 24, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 25, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 26, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 27, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 28, reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 29 is going to need a co-signer and is reset further notice with a total $11,000 SOB through the jail. 30 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 31, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 32 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 33 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. 34 is reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. 35, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 36 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. Okay, now to the add-on calendar. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 2 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. And position number 3 is reset further notice with a $5,000 total SOB through pretrial. Any comments, questions? Otherwise, let me have it.
I put the name of the cosigner for position 29 in the chat.
Okay, let me grab that right quick. Are there any others? Was that the Aisha someone? No. Okay, Lavette Rucker?
Yes.
Got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else, anyone?
Well, thank you all. I appreciate the hard work today as always. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.